statement you just made is one of the reasons women feel unsafe.
Thank you.
Not
at all.
You left
That
out
statement-
so much
that statement
nuance.
that I made-
You talked about one emotion. You talked about aggression. Women have what I call emotional bandwidth. They have a lot more bandwidth. They have a lot more access to intermediate emotions a lot of men have never even been able to connect to. So a lot of times I'm working with my couples, and the man may have access to maybe 5 bands of emotion. Emotion is still data. Emotion is still information that's not processed via what you are great at, which is the logical mind. Emotion is processed via different aspects of the human experience. Women are processing 50, 60 bands a lot of times we can't even see or fathom. So to us, it looks like they fighting ghosts. It look like they just overreacting or making it up. And that's not the case until you are able to tap into that. So you just referenced the Me Too movement as a result of, what did you say it was?
No, you're proving. What you just said, you know the funny
bro,
everything you just said, you actually proving my point.
How so?
They feel so much emotions. They got so many demons in their mind, which is why they need a man. Let me finish. They're going through so much stuff, which is why they need a man, a logical thinking man, to help regulate their emotions. Because a man is, bro, it's data out there. Men are analytical, logical thinkers.
To the Me Too movement, that's logical?
Wait,
where's the logic in that?
Do you know what innuendo?
So hello everyone, once again welcome back to my channel. My name is Chinyere and you're welcome to my channel Juliet Style Glam. How you all doing today? You guys, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all, keeping warm in this, but it's not yet freezing. The thing about it is that it's not freezing yet. We're still experiencing lots of rain and winds. Last week it dropped, but now we're just, in and out of it. Okay, so probably by the time you watch this video, this outfit is already in the community page. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to attach a picture here. It's an old. This sweater is old. I got it from H&M at that time. Oh my god. Anyway, so yeah, it's a very old sweater. Everything I wear, like I said, I'm making a conscious effort to buy less, except what is very, very essential. If not, yeah, whatever. Okay, so guys, how are we doing today? Today, in the wake, I actually did talk about it in my last video. So today we're going to be talking about some dude I stumbled upon called David Cooley. David Cooley was on the what's the name of the podcast again? Just a second, I need to find that out.
You talk about
second. I love this. I love them on TikTok. It's a podcast, and they do this. They do talks on relationships, childhood trauma, and all whatnot. Right. I hope I'll be able to find them. Okay. I just don't want the sound from.
Man has a higher degree to regulate his.
Yeah. So I found him on this channel on TikTok called Tonight's Conversation. Stumbled upon it very randomly, and from the get-go I was angry. I became very upset. First of all, I want to give a shout out to the panel at the Tonight's Conversation. I want to say I want to say good job to Ace Metaphor. I think there's Donnie, and I don't know all their names from the drop of the hat, but I want to say thank you to them, because sitting with that guy, right, while this conversation was going on, if it were me, I would have, some things would have been happening, as in hands would have been moving, legs would have been flying somehow, somewhere. But these people kept their cool and were able to pass the message across amazingly. Now, for context, what was the conversation about? Now, the conversation, let me move this back a little bit so that my boots don't hit it. Right. So the conversation was about essay, right? The conversation was about, victims, women or men as victims. The conversation bordered on, it was a broad topic. The comment section was mad. I mean, even I was, and I'm like, how myopic can someone be? How ready not to listen and understand and accept and just come to a place of understanding and comprehension? How is it that someone feels that much about all the BS that is coming out of his mouth, right? And call it word? You see, I actually made reference to this in my last video, like I said before. And it is rhetorics like this that creates the environment for ladies, right, who suffer through lack of self-confidence and getting to know themselves and, believing that they're doing something wrong. This is the kind of person that keeps creating and, drumming it into your head about how inadequate you are. Dear ladies and gents, please don't ever let anyone make you feel that you are less than. Hey, you are the prize. Dear ladies, you are the prize. I'm going to put a couple of the videos here, and but let's start from number one. So we had a conversation where he was talking about the conversation was about essay, right? And in fact, take a listen.
Everything you say, generally, a victim will take it personally.
I want to if they do, they have a weakness. That means that you haven't overcome something.
But
that
it's
is
not
true.
Your words are hurting.
You are void emotion.
And you are a slave to your emotion.
And so at the end of the day, one of the panelists who was there began to cry. I cannot express to you how sad and melancholy I felt seeing this man. And not just the fact that he expressed himself in tears. No, it's the fact that he felt vulnerable enough to do it and safe, because despite the toxicity that was in that space, he still felt safe. And I think the other guy, Ace, I think also cried. They still felt safe to allow their emotions to flow, despite the level of toxicity that was rotating, that was oozing out of this human, right? And how emotionally stunted everything that came out of his mouth sounded. You go through his channel, and this is someone who's got an over bloated ego and has a sense of belief and understanding that everything he says is word and law, without due diligence or investigation or even research. Ladies, be careful. Be careful of this kind of rhetorics. And I am, and I've realized something. I noticed something, whether on TikTok or on Instagram or wherever, that when there are certain conversations that come up. So, for example, conversations of this type of person, when they come up in the name of David Cooley, when they come up, you only see men who share the same level of toxicity and emotional stuntedness around there. Then when you see a channel where a man is actually speaking for protecting women and this and that and all, you hardly see any men there. Anytime there is something that is against patriarchy or toxicity, very rarely you will see, not that they are not there, very rarely you will see them. And so, I pinched myself, when in my language we say you pinch yourself so that you get a reality check. I pinched myself, and I pinched myself hard. So I'm sorry about that interruption. And so we are confronted with someone who's emotionally stunted and is not about learning, right? And then the rhetoric he has going on is mostly against black women. Now, plot twist is that he's married. He's not married. He's seen a white lady, and he's got kids with her, and she's a single mom. And then if you listen on to his videos, and you have all these things he says about black women and single moms, and you start questioning a lot of things. Like, at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm confused. What's going on? All in all, again, it's content creation. And I think this is an individual who is ready to say anything, absolutely anything, to fuel his channel or his pages or whatever. And I think we are a generation that is, we're attracted to, those toxic things that, rather than purging our spirits off of them, we revel in them. We want to talk about it. We want to say something about it. We want to comment about it. We want to give our 2 cents about it. That's just who we are, But my take in all of this is I think there is a level of pain that he is in. I think there is a measure of dissatisfaction that has happened, and that may have, transpired in his life for him to be this way. And I say this strictly because of this video.
The whole Me Too movement is innuendo. The whole Me Too movement is trying to destroy a man's character.
Do you think that the majority of people that's joining the Me Too movement are lying?
Generally,
oh my God.
Generally, I don't believe them.
Oh my God.
I don't believe it.
I'm sitting here praying that your daughter never has to come to you and tell you that something has happened to her and need proof, or need you to say, well, I don't believe you. Generally, because you're speaking about women and you have one, is so astonishing to me. As a girl dad, I can't fathom it.
And the rhetoric that you're speaking of is so dangerous. It's so ignorant. There are people out here that are going through, that are 1 foot away from jumping off of the next bridge because of people like you. There are women that are prepared to walk into any police station and tell somebody what happened to them, and then they hear the callous demeanor of a person like you that's sitting over there with this ridiculous smirk on your face like something is funny when we're talking about the abuse of a woman. And you still sit there so callous, so disrespectful, because you're looking for your time to interject. You got something that you want to say right now because you're not here for understanding. You are here to satisfy your own ego, and you're here to spread this ridiculous, toxic message to whoever is willing to see it and agree with you.
In regards to everything that you said, you're false, you're wrong. It doesn't make sense. It's not anything that I embody, so that is false. But anyways.
And in a nutshell, she proves Donnie right. He proves Donnie right. Rather than listen to learn and understand, he is only waiting for that right moment. I cringed so much watching that verbal attack on a woman you don't know, and you have obviously shown a lot of disregard and disrespect towards not just her and the other lady who was there. It's cringeworthy. And I ask myself, who birthed this person? Where did his manners go when it came to his education? Because you see, education is not just in the school. It's not just at school. Education starts from the home, and then it continues. And then once our kids get to school, the next job is for them to remember the education that they learned and be ready to apply them where needed. And so it begs the question, who raised this person? And were they even raised at all? Right? And what kind of education did he have? Right? And it was so painful to watch. Now, in this other video, he talks about feminism. So I'm going to actually put every video for you all to watch, and then I speak about it. So watch this.
Girls that are modern don't qualify for the top tier men usually. That's just a fact.
I disagree.
No, they qualify for recreational use only. They'll smash those single moms. They'll smash those chicks in the club and stuff, but they don't wife them up. You got no ring, you got no true commitment because you don't qualify, man. These niggas lie to you. Like I said, if you want to get rich, you lie to people that want to be lied to. If you want to make a living, you tell the truth to people that want to be told the truth to. If you want to be broke, you tell the truth to people that want to be lied to. I don't care about going broke. I'm here to tell the truth. You modern day women just don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth.
Okay.
And so here, he talks about the fact that feminism is, what word did he use again? He called it a, just to be clear, a second, please.
A man has a much higher degree to...
A
man has a much higher degree...
there are so many things to talk about in this person. Yeah, it's something about feminism being a construct. Something in that lines. I'm going to play the video for you all to listen to. And as much as the direction feminism has taken, right, that is not to say that every movement does not actually have its fallouts or, stuff like it happens. It's not new from the days of slavery. It's been going on, black empowerment, the Black Lives Matter, it's been going on, right? But does it make it entirely insignificant for those who have gone through some level of abuse and discrimination? Does it take it away? No. Their experiences and everything they have been through, they're all valid, right? So when you listen to him speak, and again, this umbrella term that he uses to, speak and cover the things he says, you cringe and you want to be very, very, very careful. And remember, I said it in my last video. I said, be very conscious of what you consume. Be very careful of what you consume, because what you consume may destroy you or it may make you. Whether you like it or not, our brains, our bodies, our eyes, our spirits, we take in things from what we see, what we listen to, what we hear. Now, especially in this period where we are seeing, hearing, and doing all at the same time. And you have to create a subconscious for yourself where you tend to automatically disregard immediately certain rhetorics that you hear and listen to. We have come so far away. We have come so far, despite the fact that we are still far away from being able to be in a society that actually protects women, in a society that looks out for women, in a society that tends to say that, whatever injustice that is done to women must and should be, taken, which must be avoided, right? And the laws are even worse because they are lacking, and the laws are in such a way that victims are even further victimized by those who should have been protecting them. And so there is need for you to actually protect yourself more than anything, especially from this type of people. And hearing and listening. We were here when Kevin Samuels, was going on and on and on about his own rhetoric. At the end of the day, with his passing, there wasn't much to be said. Okay? And we see this repeat over and over again because they exist. There are people who are actually there. This is their job. This is their mission. It is all about bringing down women, denigrating women, downgrading women, denigrating black women, making black women feel like they are always angry and all whatnot. And we are a demographic of women who the world stands on our shoulders. The burden is on us, and we do not have the luxury of FAFO. We don't. We don't have that luxury. We must be at the helm of affairs. We must be able to do this and make sure that it's taken care of, not necessarily because of the other person, but for yourself. And to ensure that those around you are also protected and well taken care of. It's such a sad development. This is someone that talked about the fact that he was top tier, though he is top tier. And the way he spoke about top tier, I was like, okay, fine. I mean, Uncle has got something to tell us. But his version of top tier is that he's 6'4", he earns 100 grand a year, and he's black. That was his version of top tier. And at that point, I was like, what the hell? I mean, you can also listen to the video right here.
You believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
By what standard?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I'm in a relationship, I'm not speaking about myself, but if you ask me a direct question, I can answer it anecdotally. I'm 6'4", only about 8% of the entire world is 6'4". I make well over 100K a year. Only about, there's niggas if you think about it on a world level, I'm in the top 1%. And I'm black at that if you add that on. So just if we're speaking about those figures, the things that women are attracted to, no, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'll let you do the math. Go to you.
What is your math saying? Before we go, what's your math saying?
The conversation alone makes him not ideal or your type, right?
Not ideal for you.
Anybody, right? We're speaking about me. He asked me for my opinion and what my thought was, and that's what I'm giving, just like you, right? If we're speaking anecdotally. The conversation and the words that are coming out of the mouth of someone like you I would never consider top tier. A top tier man is also a man that is extremely desirable by way of his character. A top tier man is a man who displays a certain level of intellect that allows him to consider other people. A top tier man, they lead with love, not with dictatorship, right? They don't want to control their woman. They want to gently lead their woman. A top tier man creates space for a woman to feel good about herself. A top tier man supports the dreams and the ideas of a woman. A top tier man prioritizes a woman. A top tier man is in leadership and working as hard as he is to give the woman the life of her dreams.
And with all that stuff that you just said, that was just womanese talk. So at the end of the day, what is that?
Womanese is also 6'4", black, attractive. I don't know too many women in my circle who desire a 6'4" man still wearing braids, but
obviously,
there's that.
What was that?
And then at this point, you then realize that this is someone, again, like I said, this is someone that has probably been through something in his life. He's got issues. He's probably been through something. And there has been some form of letdown, shaming, somewhere in his life. There's been some form of embarrassment. And it's so hard for him to take away. And I get the feeling that, this resentment could, I get the feeling, I may be wrong, but I get the feeling that this resentment could also be from his childhood, his mom, aunts, uncles, who knows, and this is that transferred aggression. And, for someone like that to decide that 6'4", 100 grand was top tier, dear Lord, Donnie did justice to it anyway, because again, in all honesty, who is going to want to have to be with a 34-year-old who still's got braids, who has braids in his hair? I mean, we don't want that. Okay. So in a nutshell, what am I saying? I am saying that for us as consumers to be careful. In a nutshell, be careful. Be mindful of what you consume. Protect yourself. Protect your energy. Do not allow yourself to be triggered, because what he's doing is actually to trigger. He wants to trigger a response. He wants to trigger. He wants to trigger engagement. He wants to trigger something. For him, it's about being able to say something, have the last word, trigger. So my advice is be careful and protect yourself from such triggers. And watch out that, again, remember when I talked about ISIS, and I said, be mindful that you do not put yourself in a situation where you are doing things that you don't want to do because you're desperate. And this is now the language I'm going to speak to those my sisters out there who are hoping to get a good man, who are hoping to be in a relationship, who are in a relationship and they're not sure what to look out for. Some of these are the signs you should look out for. Someone who does not think about you, someone who's ready to put you down, someone who's ready to, who is not interested in trying to elevate you and to work together for you to have the life that you desire, to push you to be the best version of yourself. These are those things. And when you notice that these things are lacking, ask those questions. Be at the forefront of that, not aggressively, but be at the forefront of that, because you have already passed through the fire and you know what you want. Again, let me repeat, you are the prize. You are the prize. And because you are the prize, you do not want to FA and FO. You don't want to be that. You want to actually have it all figured out in order and ticked the boxes, tick. Okay, so if you are, and maybe even my brothers, right? If you are in that situation where you find yourself and you are in self-doubt, please do not for any reason decide to become aggressive or the aggressor as a way to protect yourself from whatever may be going on around you. No, rather, what I will implore you to do is to sit down. Again, I keep on talking about taking time to be alone and taking time to be by yourself and taking time to reevaluate and speak to yourself and seek help. You see, therapy is such a healing and self-discovery that you don't want to miss out on that. And so that while you even deal with individuals, with people, whether on a platonic level or not, you automatically realize very quickly or know very quickly how you want to put yourself, how you want to place yourself before things get out of hand. Right? Again, without being aggressive, without being manipulative, without any of all those things. I also talk about the fact that it's important to ask questions. Ask questions, everything. Okay? And pray for the spirit of discernment, because the spirit of discernment is something that I believe that the world we live in today, we are lacking. Most times in our hearts, in our body, in our minds, we have that nagging thought that is telling you to be careful, watch out, don't do this, but we somehow, because hormones are moving and endorphins are passing, we tend to ignore those signals. And I will say, stop ignoring them. Okay, stop ignoring them and listen to them, right? Because those signals are there because it's telling you that I am sensing something. Call it the Holy Spirit. Call it your intuition. But it's always there to protect you. Listen to it. Listen to it. Test all spirits. I've said this so many times. Test all spirits, right? And this is where we're going to end this video. I would like to hear from you. Leave your comments in the comment section. I would like to hear from you. What do you think? I'd like to hear if you agree with me, or maybe there is something I brushed over and I did not say or talk about clearly. And if you would want me to elaborate on that, I mean, I'll definitely do that. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Do not fail to share, comments, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.